is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura ADX. Only $289 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
Come on in.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The Memorial Day event starts now at Florida's #1 volume Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy a new Subaru today with financing as low as 0% APR, or lease a new Outback for only $278 a month. Shop SPPLove.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Rayon, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief. When you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Welton Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free, and let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura RDX. Only $399 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RM MC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on a Thursday, July 2nd, 2026. And how about that? Independence Day couldn't be ringing in stronger with the USA coming through with a performance last night that was just awesome. Awesome. I've been telling you now for a couple of weeks, this is the best passing team I have seen in over 30 years. That was a problem why our ladies play elite and our men were always mediocre. The ladies always had the midfield game, always were mindful of where their teammates are. They know how to use each other really well to move the ball. Men have failed to do that for decades until now. And that's what I love about this team. And I cannot keep bragging enough about how good they are as passers. And they really do a beautiful job. They have awareness of where they're at. It's not a matter of one guy trying to hog it and try to dribble through three guys and try to also hit. No. They find a way to set each other up. And it's really, really cool to watch, man. It's liberating. That's the feeling I have personally for me, because I'm a soccer fan. So I've been a soccer fan, especially American soccer. If you've watched my show, if you know a lot of, I don't necessarily talk a ton about international soccer, to be quite honest. I talk a lot about, it'll be the Fort Lauderdale United, it'll be the Miami Fusion, it'll be the Miami FC, it'll be Inter Miami, it'll always be our local teams, strikers, you name it, you'll see it all there, right? Always. That's my DNA. Always has been, always will be. Since I've done this for 36 years, local soccer has been entrenched in my blood to make sure I promote it as much as possible in town. And then, of course, the national team. And one of the things that I've always been frustrated about, if you watch my show over the years, is that the ladies, you can see that they play the game the right way, and our guys just did not get it, bro. They just did not get it. And the funny part is, Gio Reyna came off the bench yesterday. And since his dad was last on the team, that was the last team. The when it was Reyna and McBride and all the Marcelo Balboa and Kobe Jones and the Winalda, all those guys from back in those days. That was our best passing team. That was our best Americans that actually knew how to play with each other. You know what I'm saying? And then we got discombobulated for years. And now we're in sync, dude. We are in sync, brother. I mean, this is just fun to watch. You're down a man on a bullshit call. Because I get it, it would be a red card normally if it was an intentional thing. But come on, dude. There's no way that Balogun was trying to step. He was out of off balance and all that. It was a bullshit call. There was several calls that went against the U.S. yesterday that were there was there was crappiness on the referee's part yesterday. The USA, okay, they beat Bosnia-Herzegovina and they beat the referees yesterday. Let's make that shit clear, what happened yesterday. The refs did not do I don't want them to do the USA any favors. Let me phrase that the right way. But they were detrimental constantly to the United States. That's what I would say. Okay, the offsides were actually, they were, it is offsides. What are you going to do? The second one was kind of tricky because the second he puts his foot, our guy is offsides. But by the time the flick is going, it kind of shifts. You know what I mean? But the call is offsides. It's there. It's digitally placed and everything, where the touch of the ball and where the guy is at the line. So that's fine. But there were other calls throughout the game that were bullshit. And then the red card was ultimate bullshit. That was a terrible freaking call. Okay. I say, come on. It's been going on for a year and a half now, right? Let's go, Trump. Executive order, bro. Executive order. Eliminate the red card. Anyway, so great job last night by the USA. And that was just beautiful. They were the better team. They should win. And they got it done. You know what I'm saying? They could lose that game yesterday, but we kind of knew that, okay, right now, the way the USA is playing, they're the better team. They should win. Vegas thought they should win. And they went out there and they took care of business. And to score the goal with a man down, that was just so beautiful. Malik Tillman from that free kick. What a rifle! That was awesome. That was fantastic. That was fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. First time in the semifinals since 1930. Snaps a 10-game losing streak against European teams. Just absolutely awesome. Monday, they'll take on Belgium. They're plus 155 on the money line. Belgium is plus 165 on the money line. And yesterday's game between Belgium and Senegal, we could call kind of maybe a bogus call towards the end for Senegal. But here's what I would say to Senegal. You had a 2-goal lead, dude. It reminds me of the Netherlands game, where they got tight all of a sudden and they became the that they are constantly, and they fucking choked the Netherlands. So you folks out there in the Netherlands, if anybody's watching, brother, don't blame anything, but you're a choker. You tightened up and you just did not keep playing aggressive. Yesterday, the USA played aggressive. They were ready. They kept the box packed. They defended well, and when they had an opportunity to counter, they countered. And that's the way you do things. You cannot go into a shell with a 2-0 lead, Senegal. And that's what happened to you. So once you lost a 2-goal lead, and then there's a later call that's kind of bullshit, it's what I tell you all in basketball or in football or all of that. If you have the lead, and then you gave it up, and then you put yourself in the hands of the referee, you're an idiot. That's your fault, team. Team whatever, in whatever sport. You had the lead. You had controlled the game. What was there, like 15 minutes left or something? Senegal with a 2-goal lead? No excuses. Belgium is the better team, but Senegal they should have won that game yesterday. So that's the thing. We were kind of debating about it on X yesterday. And my problem with Senegal was, dude, you had a 2-0 lead late in the game. Shut the hell up. And that's it. It's over. Just like the Netherlands. Oh, you want to clam up? Well, then that's your problem. And you end up losing. Our guys play aggressive, they play loose, and they play together. And I'm not telling you they're going to win the World Cup or anything, but I am going to tell you that they got a great opportunity to get to the quarterfinals. Great opportunity. They can beat Belgium. It's not going to be easy, but they can beat Belgium. And that's pretty cool. Now, the next round, I don't even know who's next now. Forgive me. I don't know if there's a reset or something. I'm a little unprepared for the next round. That one I don't know of. But But either way, and you're probably going to be playing some of the elite teams. That's a whole different ball game. But it's it's the club we want to enter. And that's the next step for the United States in this World Cup. It's probably not about winning it because, I mean, hey, listen, I would love to win it. But it's probably more about establishing yourself now that you are no longer the fringe team anymore, that you're going to be in the top 16, maybe the top 8 on a consistent basis. That's what this is all about here. This is about the United States of America punching in their VIP card to be amongst the elite. That's what this is all about. This is the coming out party for the United States of America. And maybe once we become, good at this, then jingoistically, things start to grow and manifest here in the country. And then we become more soccer crazy for our national team. Once our national team steps into the spotlight and they're playing against Argentina and England and Brazil on a consistent basis, and they're at that level, then I think things will start to change, because all the teams that people admire as because they're all immigrants, since we are a nation of immigrants, right? Outside of the Indians, the rest of us came from somewhere else. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they came from somewhere else. And so all we do is admire German soccer, Spanish soccer, Argentine soccer, Brazil soccer. And if this is our coming out party, and we all of a sudden, America now can get in there and be there with France, not Italy, because they don't even make it anymore. The Italians now, they're trying to play baseball. I don't know if you heard, but really, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Well, do I want them to win? Of course I want them to win, but I mean, it's a little unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? This is awesome what's going on right now. At least I'm super happy because, one, I never really expected them to play like this because they've never really shown this. And now we have gotten to the point where the talent is pretty elite, like athletically. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the players are there yet because they have to prove that. But the talent, physically, they don't really lack anything. They can play in the box. They can pass the ball. They've got a lot of speed. They've got good defense overall. They have made leaps and bounds from where they've been, like in a valley for like 30 years. It was like a malaise. That was just, yeah. Now it's just, there's direction, there's leadership from the head coach, all of that. It's really, really cool to watch how we're starting to look like a real soccer club, like a real football nation. It's really, really fun to watch. And that, to me, is what a lot of us were hoping for from the 90s into the early 2000s, that was going to be what was going to happen, and it just never manifested. And then we just crashed. And now we have come back up, kind of like Bitcoin right now, hitting 62 this morning, coming out of the ashes of 58 and 59, things like that. And that's the idea. Will the USA rise from the ashes and become one of the elites? Monday will tell us if we punch our ticket and become one of those. That's what's going to be fun. Because once you get through that and you get to the quarterfinals, and all of a sudden, the carrot has been set. It's a beautiful thing. Don't forget, reach out to our friends at Welton Associates, 954-966-4646, from personal injury, property insurance claims, bankruptcy. It doesn't matter whether it's hurricane damage, roof damage, water damage, car accidents, Chapter 7, 13, 11. A lot of us are going through financial issues right now. Florida leads the nation in foreclosures, credit cards, delinquency problems are at an all-time high right now. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. We all are fighting just to keep our heads above water. So reach out to Welton Associates, 954-966-4646. And the consultation is free. Reach out to Jeff Welt. He'll take care of it. All right. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can use the QR codes that you see there to make the donation. As always, we appreciate that. Bitcoin, as I told you, has been climbing. Hit 62 this morning. It's at 61,666 now, the number of the beast. How about that? And as for the markets are absolutely smoking right now. Dow is up 407 points. The S&P is up 41, and the NASDAQ is up nearly 2 points. How about that? All right. There you go. And again, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, insults, and we always appreciate that. I see Anthony Kyle Campos. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says Nico Harrison was in Celtics office yesterday. I can't explain the Celtics on that one, but hey, man. Although, you got to look at it this way. Okay, Brad Stevenson's stupidity has created another problem for the Miami Heat. Instead of the Miami Heat having to deal with Brown and Tatum, well, I don't know, but Maxey, Edgecombe, and Brown, yeah, and then you throw in whenever Embiid is healthy. Just alone with Brown, Maxey, and Edgecombe, you can carry an offense. The Edgecombe kid is a baller, dude. What do you average? Like 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists or something, or 6 assists, 4 rebounds or something. I mean, the kid can play. He's a rising, talent right now in the league. And then Maxey obviously is a player. And then now you add Jaylen Brown. The Sixers are a real problem. They passed the Heat already. They're better than the Heat. That's exactly what Brad Stevens did. He swung the power over to the Sixers is what he did. The Sixers end up climbing the ladder now, and they are one of the elite teams now in the Eastern Conference. They are the team right now that I would say might be best suited to challenge the Knicks. That's probably the way I would look at it. They've got everything you need, inside, outside, everything. The Heat, it's kind of an iffy group around Giannis and Bam. It's kind of a hodgepodge group. It's going to take them a couple of years to kind of put it together. What Boston did was they created a real problem, folks. And the Sixers now took a couple of steps forward by adding Jaylen Brown. That's nasty, dude. With Maxey and Edgecombe, now Embiid doesn't. If they can actually reach out to Embiid and tell him, yo, bro, stop flopping, stop throwing yourself on the floor. You don't need to play a ton of games anymore. You don't need to kill yourself in scoring points. Just support, do your job. Everything else can be taken care of around you. He doesn't have to carry it doesn't have to be just him and Maxey anymore. And if one is off, oh shit, it puts a burden. No, dude, you've added Edgecombe last year, and now you added an MVP caliber type player. Brown is going to become the guy there. It'll all kind of center around him, and then he can play, and then Maxey and all those. They created a real problem. Let me tell you why they created a real problem. There's a guy named LeBron James available out there. I don't know if you guys heard. And the way I look at it, when LeBron James is looking for a new team, I think he wants to play with Steph first and foremost. He stays on the West Coast with his family, all that good stuff. If he's happy with that situation and he thinks it can be competitive, I think he goes there because it's a great storyline to kind of end your career, play with Steph. He loves Steph, all that. Takes the burden off of him with some of the other guys scoring. And then if that one doesn't work, then you go to Cleveland, where they do have a lot of the scoring load and all that, and it can take pressure off of him also. And he goes back to Cleveland, and Cleveland went pretty deep on their own without LeBron, so now he gets to add to that. Then I think it's Miami. Well, I thought it was Miami. Now I think Miami falls to fourth place. If the other three screw it up, then Miami will get LeBron. But I don't see the other three, and the other three is Philadelphia 76ers. After last night's move, LeBron James has to be looking at the Sixers like a legitimate problem right now for the East. Like, okay, I don't have to deal with San Antonio. I don't have to deal with Oklahoma City. You know, Steph and the boys, it'd be fun to play, but they're old. I can go over to the Sixers, and I can have Brown and Maxey carry the offense. I can play inside-outside game with Embiid, and we have the young kid in Edgecombe. We can be a beast in the East. It would behoove – you don't pick Miami over the Sixers. If you're LeBron, sorry, I apologize if I'm objective here, okay? Miami doesn't have enough on the outside to really – there's an imbalance on that team. It's a terrible imbalance. And he doesn't provide the outside shooting that Miami really needs. It's bully ball and all that. And I don't know if bully ball can survive in today's NBA. I just don't think so because they don't allow you to play that. In hockey, yeah, you could bring back Radko Gudas. You can get away with that. You can't. Sorry, there's no room for bully ball in the NBA. That's the other issue that's been developed here now. That Philadelphia move, that has to open up the eyes for LeBron. And if he's thinking about how to end his career, Don Staley tweeted out to him, hey, LeBron, you about that Philly life? So that was kind of cool for Don Staley to pull a move like that. So we'll see what happens. But Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Very kind of you. Thank you for your generosity. We got Miami Sports Collector. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. He says, USA soccer coach Maximus Decimus Meridius Gladiator movie. Yes. Just fun, man. Thank you, Miami Sports Collector. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Very kind out there. Thank you. Don't forget also you can hit the like button. All right? Not many have hit the like button there. You know what I'm saying? Come on. We're working, baby. We're working. Just hit the like button. That gets the algorithms going. You know what I mean? You can visit our sponsors. You can hit the like button. You can make a donation. There's many ways to support the program, and we appreciate that. We're going to talk to Manny Navarro today. We'll talk to David Furones also today. So we got a loaded show. We got a bunch of things to talk about on the show. So looking forward to that. Let's get to our 3A Graphics Sports calendar. And we start off with the USA, of course, which last night they defeated Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-0, even with a red card to Balogun. And he did score in the 45th minute, but unfortunately he gets a red card. But USA wins. They advance. They will take on Belgium in the round of 16 on Monday. USA is plus 155. Belgium is plus 165. It's the first time
If they can advance to the semifinals, it'll be the first time since 1930. And this also snaps a 10-game losing streak against European teams. Other finals in the World Cup: England over Congo, 2-1. Belgium over Senegal, 3-2. Today at 3:00, Spain takes on Austria. Spain minus 325, Austria plus 1,000. 7:00, Portugal minus 140, Croatia plus 400. And at 11:00, plus 100 for Switzerland and plus 325 for Algeria. Maybe I'll watch the first half, but I'll probably go to sleep. Couple of big trades yesterday in the NBA. Sixers acquired Jaylen Brown from the Celtics for 2 first-round picks in 28 and 31, and 2 second-round picks. That's absolutely insane. Also, the Lakers, they trade for center Walker Kessler from the Jazz. Did they acquire a hospital too? Because they should tie well, you can't tie a hospital to his back because he'll probably break down too. But anyway, they traded for the often injured big man, 2 first-round picks in 31 and 33, unprotected, and 2 first-round swaps in 28 and 30. And then they gave the often injured dude a 4-year, $130 million deal. He played 5 games last year, Walker Kessler. Let's start off with his rookie season where he played 74. Then his second season where he played 64. Then his third season where he played 58. And his fourth season where he played 5 games. Okay, this sounds like a great investment. Panthers, by the way, Luosterainen gets a new 8-year contract that averages $5 million per year. Radko Gudas gets a long-term deal, 6 years, $1.5 million. Mackie Samoskevich, former Panther, gets a 3-year deal with Seattle, $3.85 million per year. And so that is some of the moves by the Panthers yesterday, and those are the moves overall in sports. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please reach out to Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. That's 786-618-1443. Shirts, hats, uniforms, you name it, they will take care of it for you there at 3A Graphics. Thank you out there. Appreciate you all as always. Don't forget, you can visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off online or in person. And remember, online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. All right? All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Miami Sports Collector, thank you again for the love on the super chat. And you are correct, sir. We can give the USA a victory cigar. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Miami Sports Collector, for the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let's see, what else do we have going on to talk about? Let's see. Oh, by the way, Ethan Badowski, I think he works on the Lebitard show. I think that's what I saw on his X feed. Nice little Panther nugget he threw out there that I had no idea. After everything that they've done, and they've got, a couple million still under the cap, the Panthers have $40 million in cap space in the 28-29 season. And that year, the unrestricted free agent is Brady Tkachuk, Kulikov, and Belinkus, right? Oh, and Jonah Gadjovich and Markstrom. Okay. I don't know if Markstrom will get an extension from this, but we'll see at that point. Now, the following year, after that, where you have the $40 million, you can't go crazy that year too much. But the following year, you have Barkov, Tkachuk, and Lundell in 29 and 30. He's kind of aggressively balancing this whole thing out, man. Because a lot of that money is already going to be allocated to those guys, down the line. And I'm sure Barkov by that point will probably give a little bit of a discount because he's wrapping up his career. That'll be his last contract probably when it's all said and done. Same as for Matthew, But just gotta love the way Zito manages everything. Props to Ethan on that nugget I saw on X. That's a pretty cool nugget. And I didn't realize how, this is why Zito is Zito. Foresight, making sure you make the right moves and keep your team on top constantly. I think that's pretty freaking cool, man. So props to Bill Zito again. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says hot take, Rodriguez, Gomez, Gonzalez, all related. Yeah, I'm sure. Did you add Hernandez to it? I mean, we could throw in the Hernandezes in there too. Kind of all related too. Hernandez, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Gomez. Yeah, dude. So, Garcia's got to throw all that in there too. I mean, yeah, all the same. Yeah, there's no difference. I'm with you there. All right, what do we got here on the chat board? I see Stephen Harris, number 1. Good to see you, sir. Dolphin Dave, I see. Cosa, hot ass day. And let's see, Mexico, and you had a nice little run versus soft competition. Now let's see what you can do versus real competition. Let's go USA. And if Danny Ainge would still be with the Celtics, they would have gotten 5 first-round picks. And that was bad, dude. That was bad. But hey, I'm not going to feel sorry for the Celtics, although they empowered the hell out of the Sixers. And if Embiid stays just healthy for 60 games, that would be phenomenal. Because he can't stay healthy. But to add that trio now, Brown, Maxey, and Edgecombe, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty freaking good. See true Finn fan there. I see Kevin out in Lakeland, Florida. NorCal is awakened and a bacon. Ariel out there loving the massive USA win. Idleman out in Castle Rock. Think Blue Dodgers in LA smoking it. Rosendo is out there. Let's see. True Finn fan, I see you. Thank you. In other words, we made it to the country club where we have never been accepted. Yeah. I mean, let's beat Belgium and really step into the big boys club. That would be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see. Doom and gloom lives here. No light, only darkness, my friend. I laugh on top of the world. I don't know why. Where's the doom and gloom? USA is doing good, bro. Not the economy, but the USA is doing good. The long-term, low-cost signings get little interest, but that's what allows us to make the big moves that gets all the headlines. Yeah. Oh, what else? Oh, thank you out there. Let's see. What else that I want to talk about from yesterday? There's a lot of stuff that went on yesterday to actually talk about on the show, which is crazy. I do always want to thank our friends at R&M Contractors, because they're always proud sponsors of our program. They sponsor all of our crypto segments. So let's talk a little Bitcoin, which Bitcoin right now has been flirting around 62. Let's see, 61,475. I don't really know why, but it's up 3%, down from its 58.59 range, which was a beautiful buy, by the way. I enjoy it. But Metaplanet today bought 2,823 Bitcoin. for $172.7 million. They now own 43,000 Bitcoin. Polymarket now says Bitcoin is going up to 65, which I laugh. Wasn't it going down to like 40? And now it's going up to 65. See, this is where and again, no financial advice. Never listen to the white noise. I don't worry about it being up or worrying about it being, well, I do care about it being down because then I can buy more. It's kind of the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't worry about it or flinch when it went to 16 from 67. I don't worry about it now where it's farting around the 60 mark. I don't worry about it. I just keep stacking and hodling and it's a long-term thing. I don't worry about it because eventually the USA yesterday bought $2 billion back more of their debt. People are dumping the USA debt. We don't have the money to buy it. We print it. So that's $2 billion more they printed to water down the money. That's where the inflation comes from. So I keep telling you, eventually the tide will turn and people will figure it out. That's fine. You do your own homework. Anyway, unemployment rate dropped to 4.2% from 4.3%, but the economy only added 57,000 jobs, lower than the expectations of 113,000. So, economy's not doing well overall. Don't listen to the stock market. 40% of Americans aren't involved in the stock market. 40% of Americans don't have a 401k. And so a lot of people are, having a tough time. It's a K economy is what's going on. And the rich and the well-off are the ones that are carrying right now everything. Middle class and the poor are not. They're the ones struggling and budgeting, right now. So there you go. Bitcoin eventually will be that life vest that a lot of people economically will be shooting for overall. You will see. That is, of course, a little Bitcoin and crypto news. Don't forget our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. They do exceptional work. You can call them 305-345-3649. They do complete remodels, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing your terrace, balcony, flood test report, impact windows, door installations, very important during hurricane season, bathroom upgrades, floor restorations. If you want to see how elite their work is, go to RMC Fisher Island. That's RMC Fisher Island. So you can check it out there at R&M Contractors. They know how to get it done, dude. Their work is just crazy. All right, let's see what we have here. Big O, let's climb the top of the Hard Rock Stadium, LOL. Yeah, that was one wild ass story yesterday in New York from the Russian couple. For those of you that don't know, a Russian couple who does this actually a lot. They climb all kinds of structures all around the world for many years now. So they ended up escaping up the spire of the Empire State Building. And let me read the story for you. The amazing part was that he also proposed, and I'm sure she accepted. And some people will say, well, that's nothing to them. That's the ultimate type of proposal because they're thrill seekers. Daredevil couple Angela Nicolau and Ivan Birkis are the talk of social media. They climbed the Empire State Building spire and unfurled a pro-peace banner before a dramatic proposal. The pair displayed the message, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. At least they had a good message, by the way. I'll give them that they weren't really trying to hurt anybody. They could have hurt themselves. Angela and Ivan, by the way, are professional daredevils. They're featured in the Netflix documentary Skywalkers, a love story Their Empire State Building ascent showcased impressive skills and preparation. The climbers assessed the metal structure serving the broadcast antenna and beacon. They chose the Empire State Building for its global visibility and symbolic weight. Aside from the message and proposal, there was another thing worth mentioning. Nicolau was dressed as Catwoman for the stunt. This is going to pay off for them. They have video of it. They'll get millions and millions of views. So they'll pick up some money. That'll pay for, whatever bail they get and get out and whatever charge they get on a felony. By the way, the Empire State Building then tweeted out, a picture of the top where you can just look out from the top and see the view of New York City, and goes, you can come up here in New York to see the view of New York City without getting a felony. So that was kind of funny. But anyway, major news outlets covered the event extensively as video footage circulated rapidly. The stunt drew mixed reactions, from admiration for the message to concerns about safety risk, which is, of course, absolutely natural because, it could have been really ugly. The dangerous situation developed when two individuals dressed in dark clothing began an unauthorized climb of the historic transmitter structure. These individuals eventually reached the highest sections of the iconic 1,454-foot Manhattan Tower. Once positioned on the spire, they unfurled a banner bearing a message of global harmony and peace. Roughly 10 minutes later, they began descending down the rest of the spire. Emergency personnel met Angela and Ivan as they descended down the metal structure and placed them into custody. Official building representatives emphasized that tourists on the main observation deck were never in any immediate danger, and the couple previously achieved international fame after starring in a popular documentary featuring on a major streaming network. Their risky style involves illegal scaling prominent skyscrapers around the world to capture unique digital content. And they did it. They got all of our attention. Social media was on fire. The news. It was like watching a race car, a NASCAR race or Indy or whatever. Half the people that are watching, what are they watching for? What are they watching for? The crash. And I think that's what people were watching. They were in awe of everything that was going on. But then on the back of their minds are wondering, what happens if one of these people fall? And then what? So that's, they're going to get their money's worth. They're not going to jail for any long period of time or anything whatsoever. They'll get a slap on the wrist and they'll move on. There's not much you can do, to be quite honest. And, the people in our government are committing much bigger crimes. So if you think I'm going to worry about, a Russian couple that got up there to do a proposal, and they're professionals at this anyway, there's a lot worse going down in the streets in New York. And just go look at the White House and everything else going on with all, with everybody on both sides. They're committing way more crimes than that Russian couple. It's not something that I'm really worried about. I will. The only thing I will ever tell you is I have and never will have the balls to ever do anything like that. There's no chance. None whatsoever. I think the only way I would be forced to climb that is if they tell me that my daughter or my wife is up there, and the only way to bring them down is that I have to climb. Then I have no choice. Then I climb and die. You know what I'm saying? But that's about the only way you would get me to climb that thing. My daughter or my wife is stuck up there. That's it. There's no other way you would ever. There's no money you can give me. There's nothing you can do to ever get me to do something that crazy, that insane. No way. There's no way. Yeah. But hey, They're going to end up winning when it's all said and done. They could get a TV show from this. That she could get a role as a Catwoman on something. You know what I'm saying? She could be the side cat girl or something like that. In a Catwoman movie that has, she produces extra cats and she'll be one of the extra cats or something. They will benefit from this. Guaranteed. There's no doubt in my mind that they will benefit from this in a big time way. Small little speed bump with a little felony charge, a little slap on the wrist, and you get rid of it right away. By the way, our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines are waiting for you at 16100 Pines Boulevard. Go see Alan. He is the general manager. Eric Stampone. He joins me all the time out there. The 2026 Outback Premium. You can get it for $278 a month, 0.9% APR financing. How about the Crosstrek 2026 model, 1.9% financing. The 2026 Impreza, 2.9% APR financing, $168 a month. That is crazy. The WRX Premium, $338 a month, 2.9% financing. You got a lot of options out there. Take advantage, folks. How about this one? The Forester Base, $228 a month, 1.99% financing. And if you're looking to go electric, you can get the Uncharted, the Trail Seeker, and the Solterra. All Subaru batteries go from 10% to 80% in just 28 minutes. That's a joke, all right? And the Uncharted, well, you've got two. You've got one that'll get you 300 miles on driving range, has 336 horsepower. And then, I'm saying the first one. And then the second one is the Trail Seeker, which has 375 horsepower, has 280 miles of driving range. And the Solterra, which has a 288-mile driving range also. Check it out, man. Get on down there at 16100 Pines Boulevard. You can get away from the gas, go electric, and you can have your portable charger, which you take it everywhere. You can use it at your in-laws' house, at your friend's house. If you're low on battery, wherever you can plug it in, you can charge your car on the go, which is a beautiful thing. Tell them that Big O sent you. You will get $500 off, by the way, at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Okay. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of deportes? Let's see. All right. Ocala Joe, morning. Oh, while I'm not a soccer fan, I am, however, a USA fan, of course, man. You got to be a USA fan. Let's go. Definitely. It's fun to watch, man. And Brett Dodger says it's actually hotter up here yesterday and today. Temperatures 100 Fahrenheit, man. It's crazy, huh? Heat index 115. Stay inside. That's all I can tell you. Stay inside. Let's see. Pat in Asheville says the need for attention is pathological these days. Amen. Amen, sir. Rosendo says they have to climb to the Empire State Building for peace. Every time I think of New York City, it makes me hungry to eat a hot dog. Yeah, I just can't have those street dogs. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not my thing. Not even a DQ. That's the DQ thing. It did it to me, so I can't do it. You know, Brett, you read me right there on that one. Kosa, taken part 5, Big O, climbs the transmitter tower. Well, hey, man, that's the airport's fault, okay? They'll be the embarrassment of the country for many years to come. They'll probably end up finding a way to change it, even though they think they passed the law not to be able to change it or something for a while. Big O, would I parachute out of a plane? Yeah, maybe when I was younger for sure, not now. I don't know if now in my older age, I don't know if I want to start doing any of that crazy kind of shit, dude. Why? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That to me doesn't make sense. I kind of at this point, now that I'm getting this age, I just don't want to suffer any kind of injuries because it's going to take a lot longer to recover from it. You know what I'm saying? So parachuting is probably now, in this point in my life, is out. I would have liked to try that and skydiving back in the day, but not now, because I'm not really a guy that's like terrified of that kind of stuff necessarily. I don't want to climb a spire. I mean, that's just that. Yeah, I'm terrified of that. You know, I'm not out to scaling mountain walls and stuff. No. But you know, I'll do that kind of stuff, parachuting or something like that. I would have done that when I was younger. Never got the chance or never did it. But now, at this age, I doubt it, dude. I doubt I would try any kind of crazy stuff nowadays. Yeah. Big O, what are your thoughts about the moves the Lakers made? Well, did you hear the update? Just wondering. Did you see the update? That's first and foremost. I kind of gave you a little bit of it. Now, I've been talking about this for a little bit on the Lakers. I don't like that you committed to Doncic and Reeves as your top two guys. That one doesn't make sense to me. I got to be honest. Neither guy plays defense. You have injury concerns, especially with Luka Doncic, because he doesn't really take care of himself. And just because he kind of did it this year doesn't mean that he's always going to be doing it. So it's just something that I would be a little bit concerned about when it comes to the Lakers. And what is it that they're calling it, the snow show or something like that? Because it's a whole bunch of white dudes. And then you trade 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders for Walker Kessler. The guy played 74 games his rookie year, then 64 games his second year, then 58 games his third year, and played 5 games last year. Where does that make sense? That's where I would tell you, where does that make any sense? So Doncic and Reeves don't play any defense. I worry about Doncic long-term because he doesn't really take care of himself. He just did it last year. And I just think in that group and now LeBron's gone and all that, I think he'll go back to his regular, habits. I don't think that's a guy that ages well, even though he can play some great basketball. And then you traded away your picks, and Walker Kessler never stays healthy. And not only did you trade for him, then you gave him a 4-year, $130 million deal. I don't think the Lakers are going anywhere. I don't like the way they're building their team. I don't think it fits today's NBA. That's what I would tell you. I tell you, there's too much risk in what the Lakers are doing. I wouldn't be counting on the Lakers. Snow time. That's it. Snow time is what they're calling the Lakers instead of showtime. Snow time. That was funny. That was funny yesterday. Snow time. So yeah, no, dude. I'm not a fan of what the Lakers are doing. Listen, man. When it comes, I talked about this yesterday. Philosophically, I don't like the way the Heat are built. Your top 2 guys are 2-point guys in a 3-point league. Or if Golden State wants to build their team and you want to also add LeBron on top of Steph, on top of Draymond Green, on top of AD, all of that, that's insane, dude. That's a whole bunch of old guys. I don't know. So if you want to build a bunch of old guys in Golden State, I don't think that works. If you want to build a bunch of guys that can't play defense or stay healthy in the Lakers, I don't think that works. Here in Miami, if you want your top 2 guys to be 2-point guys, and one of them will miss a quarter of the season guaranteed, I just, fundamentally certain teams are building it in a way that I don't think it helps them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told you earlier in the show that if LeBron's going to look at something, maybe he looks at Philadelphia now. That's the one that looks like, if he's really about, okay, I want to go win and I want to be happy or whatever, bro, you got Maxey, Brown, and Edgecombe to carry the offense, and Embiid can stay healthy 60% of the time. You actually, and in the East, that makes a lot of sense for him. A lot of sense. To go to the Warriors, to a retirement home, you're not going to get anywhere. To come to Miami and you're another 2-point guy joining 2 more 2-point guys, that math doesn't jive in this league. You can't win with bully ball in this league. Cleveland makes sense because they've got the scorers around and it takes the load off of him. You know, that makes a little more sense. And then Philly makes a lot of sense too right now. I don't know. I don't know what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Some stupid shit has gone on. Milwaukee had a chance to kind of do the whole Jaylen Brown thing. Instead, they went with the Miami picks, which was kind of weird. Boston, they had a chance to get Giannis, and because of Hugo Gonzalez, they didn't do this. And then now they end up having to give away Brown. Like, it was weird, dude. Weird. Some weird happenings in the NBA. All righty. Let's talk a little NFL with the one and only little Miami Dolphins with our Welt and Associates Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Associates PA Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welton Associates PA, where clients get direct communication, strategic guidance, and strong advocacy when life takes an unexpected turn. From property insurance disputes to personal injuries and bankruptcies, call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider, David Furones.
All right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, baby? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good, especially after hearing that new intro, and it's Welton Associates. Now, I'm fired up after hearing that. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dan retired, and so
congratulations.
He's just going to be flying his stunt plane now, you know, and taking care of dogs because they have a out on the West Coast. They have a dog shelter where they take in dogs and and I'm talking about a lot of dogs. So he does a lot of good stuff too, giving back.
Nice.
Yeah, Daniel Rayom is, Jeff and Dan are they're really special people, and so we definitely wish Dan the best.
Congratulations,
bro! Retire is the best. That word is just absolutely awesome. You know, I'm one of those guys that I can't wait to retire myself. Actually.
Oh, come on. You love this too much, Big O.
I can do this, but yeah, there's a part of me that wants to kind of dedicate the rest to my wife and my family and kind of like be around for them to do all that and not have to follow everything that I have to follow in order to do this job. You know what I mean? Because it's anybody that listens to the show, you know that I follow a lot of things, whether it's sports or entertainment or music or politics or investment or whatever. And there's a lot of shit that I'm talking about. So obviously I have to follow a lot of things in order for me to talk about this. So it's just, it's a burden, to be quite honest. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. That's why I've done it for 36 years. And I'm blessed to be doing it for 7 years on my own, which is just absolutely awesome.
I'm too far. I'm too far from retirement. But I figure the way sports media is and media in general, I'll probably have to reinvent myself 2 or 3 times over the years. I mean, that's probably at a minimum. Just in order, like you had to go on your own, right? With this platform, like the way things are going, I don't think I'll just get to be Sun Sentinel Dolphins my whole career. I would hope, but that's the way it is. I'll have to plan on that. For if Dave Hyde could go, then anyone can go. Really, that's one takeaway from seeing that because it happens every day in our business, all over the world.
Yeah, it's a bad play. I mean, look at what's happened at CBS. That alone, right there, shows you everything. What a disaster it all is. So yeah, it's a rough business. Even though we love it, it's not a business that I would tell like my daughter. Thank God she never even thought or got the bug of any of this shit, dude. Thank the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So what'd you think of the LeBron thing now that Philadelphia did what they did? If he's really looking for happiness, I don't know, bro. I'd rather pick Philadelphia over the Lakers, over the Cavs, over the Heat. Much better options over there, much better offense around him.
And I think even some of the odds started reflecting that. I might have seen let me see. Now I got one sportsbook saying like 2-1 Philadelphia that jumped over the Heat with the Cavs and Warriors up there at the top too. So I mean that Sixers trade really made a move for them. Yeah, you think about how you have it at different layers of the offense. If you put Embiid, LeBron, Jaylen Brown, and I mean they would still have Maxey and all this. Like that's just insane. Edgecombe is thriving and rising. Like that would be an insane lineup. So if LeBron, if it's ring chasing that would make LeBron happiest, then that's probably the best situation. You can't even front on that with pretending like okay the Heat situation would be better.
No.
With the Heat, I mean, that would be probably an all-time front line of Bam, Giannis, and LeBron as far as defensively covering the
But can you win with bully ball? Can you win with bully ball in this NBA?
Yeah, it would be a counter to everything that's going. It's kind of like a bring it back to that where like, oh, everyone's going outside shooting. Well, we're going to go in the paint. You still need shooting to keep up. So, like, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to get a lot of shots. I mean, you're going to need Simone Fontecchio to go and be a real shooter that, who, by the way, he and Bam once combined for 101 points in a game. He did score 18 in that one. But, yeah, you need shooting. I mean, LeBron would be doing a lot of shooting if he came to mind. He'd be sitting back, dishing,
He's a 31% shooter last year from 3-point range. That's just you're adding another 2-point player in a 3-point league. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
He'd get more open ones than like the dribble up to the three and shoot a contested one. He'd have more open ones at least.
Yeah, I just don't like overall. I don't agree the way the Warriors are trying to build. I don't agree what the Lakers just did. I don't agree what the Heat just are trying to do. To me, just in today's league, what you guys are doing doesn't jive. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, what the Warriors want to do is do a one last dance, one last, sort of take a shot at it.
Too many old.
That's right, because they are old. Because Steph Curry's old, and so you want to just take your shots while you still have them. So, combine him with other players who are eager to get one before they go too. And I mean, Steph and LeBron had the whole. Team USA 2024 Olympics bonding over that, the way they played together. Those Olympic teams kind of do end up leading to things like when it was 2008 and then the big three Heat came together in 2010 after the 2008 Beijing Olympics. That was a big deal in bringing those guys together. But hey, even from the Heat perspective, I was hearing, I forgot who said it, but Spo was big as an assistant coach on Team USA in working with LeBron specifically for those Olympics. So probably like a reuniting type of thing after, it kind of ended the way it did back in 2014 with his time in Miami.
All right, let's switch over to football. Obviously, Tyreek Hill has no future here. We know that. You know that. The Dolphin fans know that. Most people don't even want him around anyway. But there is some talk out there. I'm just wondering, have you heard anything? Where is he at physically? And do you have an idea where that problem child will land?
When you say problem child, you're not talking about his own children.
No, I'm saying Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek is a problem. Yeah. Hopefully, all of them are not problem children, and they're all good kids. But
no, I'm not talking about his kids. I'm not talking about his family at all. I'm talking about Tyreek Hill is a problem child.
Yeah.
Child land is what I would like to know.
Yeah. It's just so many times you've made references to his 10 or 12. So I was like, wait, did you just do a little like a pun there or something? But
yeah. He does have a football team of kids. Yeah, there's no doubt he has like 800 kids, but yeah, he's probably more immature than most of his kids as it is. So have you heard anything where he is health-wise and somebody actually will take a chance on him?
As far as updates on his health, not too much. I've seen him post some workouts, so I can't get a sense of if he's even like getting close to football performance because it's still like in the lab type of stuff. One leg, what's it like lunges and leg press type stuff, like still building up the strength in it. So I don't think he's still running all that much. And now we are within the month that training camp starts. So that part of it, I don't know if he might be like a later in the season type of thing, especially if it still hasn't happened yet. But as far as if we just say, all right, he'll be ready at some point and where does he go? Then, I mean, my mind still goes to Kansas City first, is reuniting with the Chiefs, put him back in there with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And especially as Kelsey just goes one more go at it, then just bring the band back together, see what they can do just one last time together. That would still be my favorite. And then my mind kind of wonders about, could Buffalo make it work? Could New England take a shot? If we're looking in the AFC East as well, teams that could use another receiver. If the Chargers, if Tyreek Hill's in a good place and Mike, you bring him back into Mike McDaniel's offense, and now you see what he could do with Justin Herbert throwing him the deep ball instead of Tua, with Mike McDaniel running the show offensively, and the Chargers can keep him away from the Chiefs. Could that be a possibility? Or even if it is Tua and Atlanta, and then he's there to complement Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson in the backfield. And I think Tua and Tyreek, they had some of their run-ins, like with how he ended the one season, and then it was an off-season headline through the whole 2025 offseason going into the training camp, and that Tua's still saying that Tyreek he owes it to the team, whatever. He still has to prove himself to regain what he had before. But I think ultimately they could still get it back to a place where, they'd work together, especially if it's in a new spot.
All right. The World Cup, obviously we're all watching it. One of the demands of the World Cup was that every pitch be made of grass, not of artificial turf. So that's kind of raised the stink. And in the NFL, which one of the things that I've always pointed out for decades now, the NFLPA is a very weak players association. They get, run over by the owners constantly. And, the owners have done all kinds of shit, like even hide the whole concussion issue from them for many years and things like that. There should be grass on every field. These players are worth millions of dollars. Why wouldn't you want to protect your investments? The fact that you still have artificial turf in NFL stadiums is criminal, considering you're a, multi-billion-dollar business, maybe even $1 trillion almost. I don't know what the hell it does. It does so much money. I think there's so much money that it is minuscule to be talking about turf. Are the players going to finally wake the hell up here and do something about this? Because, soccer and FIFA, they do what they need to do in order to protect their players.
Yeah, they should step up, and this is an opportunity where it gives them a little more leverage. As okay, well, you're willing to do it with all these stadiums. When a global event comes to these cities, all right, now do it for us, and it might take the players fold on the 18 regular season games, but if you're adding that, now we demand that it is. Now with the added safety measure that we are going with grass, and players themselves, if this continues, then they could just, when they're up for free agency, go and sign with the teams that are where they'll be playing their home games on grass instead of turf. Like hurt them when it comes to free agency and say, okay, well, no, I don't want to put my career at risk playing on your turf. So no, Jets, Giants at MetLife Stadium, I am not going to be signing with you. I'm even willing to sacrifice, a mil on whatever, like several million that I'm going to make on this contract to go elsewhere because that'll be a better long-term investment for my future because I'm going to keep myself healthy playing over here and maybe only visiting you guys once or twice, whatever. So, some of those kind of things, but they got to apply some pressure because and I know I don't have like the answer right, but you got to start making some kind of movement on this.
Dude, none of us have the answer. I'm not asking you to have the answer, but I'm just saying it, it just proves again that the NFL players get run over constantly by NFL owners because now they fold like little bitches for FIFA because they're going to get in a lot of money and they're going to make a lot of money on that. And here's where you got to commend Stephen Ross. Okay. Overall, he hasn't gotten it done. So he's been a bad owner in that sense that he doesn't win, but he does do everything right for players to succeed. Now he hasn't picked the right, people in the front office and coaching staff and all that other stuff. But dude, the guy bought his own grass company. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You can't get any more fanatical than that about your football team. And I commend them for that. And that is something that players should appreciate. But it should be a real fight for them this time around, right?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, they have the leverage now, the talking points. I mean, another one at least where, they bent over for FIFA in the World Cup and installed this in all these stadiums. So, I mean, do it right for your own players where a lot of the games, the biggest sporting events that are consistently at these venues, where these are the guys that are playing in them. So, and like you said, kudos to Stephen Ross, because as far as every investment aspect of ownership, that just being another example, then he steps it up to the utmost. So that's another example of that. And maybe he did get it right this time. Maybe we'll see. We'll have to see with the regime he hired this time, where he took a little step back and it's more Daniel Silman, and now it's Troy Aikman bringing his expertise in from the outside. So see how it all plays together with Sully and Half here.
And he had to play on some turf early on in those Cowboy days. By the way, here at Welton Associates, folks, Jeff has been with us from day one. And one of the things about Welton Associates, you're not a number. You will get direct communication. You will get the straight answers, convenient communication, and document signing, personal attention from a firm that will treat you like a person and not a file, which happens a lot out there. And you will get responsive service. So if you're dealing with personal injuries, property insurance claims, or bankruptcy, reach out to our guys at Welton Associates at 954-966-4646. So let me ask you, did the best thing that could happen to Brendan Sorsby actually happen by putting him on ice for a year? Because really the whole process of hurrying this up and getting him in the supplemental draft and then everybody having to, get the information and then draft him and then bring him on board and all that, it would be a lot in a short amount of time. And then it would be a lot for the young man too. So did the best thing happen to him now to kind of reset his career?
I would say a good thing for him. I wouldn't say best thing because he is still going to be missing this year of evaluation or just a year where he goes into the NFL right away. So he's missing a college football season where he could have propelled himself into first round status. So he will not have that. So his stock next time around without a season will be a little bit lower, just solely based on being away from competitive football for a year. But it should be a good thing for him because there were real repercussions to his actions, which probably I would hope for this young man gets it through to him that he's got to get over his gambling addiction and really put this behind him. And he can't be doing this in the NFL, and that there are real repercussions for it. So he experienced it. It's not just like a threat or a slap on the wrist. And then because I think throughout this whole process, if you're him, you still think, oh yeah, there's always going to be a way because I'm too big of a talent. Either the NFL will go the supplemental draft route so that I can get in, or I'll still finagle a way to gain my eligibility at Texas Tech for this last year, whatever. Or it could be another school if Texas Tech doesn't allow me or whatever. But or the CFL, whatever. There's going to be a way, right? But now it's like, no, there is no way. So there's really for your actions. Now there is a reaction to it in what you are not entitled to right now. So that should be enough to really get it through his head. Like, all right, some serious change needs to happen in my life here if I want to go and have a future in football.
I actually believe this is the best thing that can happen to Brendan Sorsby, the human being, so he can try to be the best professional. He can be. All of this is a good humbling experience, and that hopefully that puts him to work and focus on his life and priorities a little bit more. Now, I will say, to be fair and objective, there are two losses here. One, he loses out on the moment of exclusivity for his services, because the supplemental draft would have provided a bidding war, a desperation war, because the league is desperate for quarterbacks. Desperation makes you do stupid things and do desperate things, which you would have pulled the trigger at a moment that you may not have done in the past because you desperately need that quarterback. He misses out on that. Also, whether it's the Dolphins or anybody else that is quarterback starved like we are as Dolphin fans, you miss out on a chance on possibly getting a quarterback on the cheap, because this is a guy that if he would have gone to playing college, he might have put himself in the first round. Well, you might have gotten him now in the second, third, or fourth round, depending on how it went in the supplemental draft. So that loss there. So there are positives for the human being, and there are some negatives, if you want to be selfish, let's just say.
Yeah, from the Dolphins' perspective. But it also saved Sully from a tough decision early on where the spotlight would have been on Brendan Sorsby. And now during this downtime in the offseason, now you have to go evaluate him at some pro day that he sets up, get to interviewing him, get to see if he really does have this gambling thing behind him, and he won't be a problem in the locker room when he comes into the building, and bring this into your team facilities. And it saves him from a tough decision when the culture is a big part early on in what they're trying to establish here with this new regime. And then in order to fix the quarterback situation, which you did bring one in already this offseason, and now you'd kind of be maybe backpedaling on your confidence, it would seem, in Malik Willis, if you just so quickly bring in another one who has a spotlight on him, then there's just all those different dynamics that would be in play and be really difficult for John Eric Sullivan to juggle so early on. So I think it saves him of that decision. Now you let Malik Willis and maybe Quinn Ewers play this next year, and then you see what you got. And then you could go into that 2027 draft class, which is loaded and now has another one in Brendan Sorsby in it as well.
All right, final question here. Interesting division now, because you've got a second-year coach on one team and then two first-year coaches on the others. And Mike Vrabel clearly is the number one guy in the AFC East. So if I tell you in the next 2 years, because I don't think in 1 year you're probably going to unseat Vrabel right now, but will it be Joe Brady? Will it be Aaron Glenn? Will it be Jeff Hafley? Who's going to knock the king off the mountain in the AFC East?
Well, Joe Brady has the best shot for sure. I mean, because
he's got Josh Allen.
He's got Josh Allen, and the Bills were running this division. It was a surprise rise for the Patriots last year to even get to be division champs. And then make it to the Super Bowl when everything caved in for them in the AFC in order for them to get through. And even with that run, you still can't be entirely convinced about that Patriots team. And you feel like with a tougher schedule, they could regress a little bit to where they really should be. And I kind of feel like Buffalo should be that nudge above. So, I mean,
yeah, you don't think Buffalo is declining. You don't think, like some people think, that Buffalo has declined a little bit from last year. You don't think that's the case?
A little bit, but I mean, then in the playoffs, I felt like they were going to win that game in Denver. Like I was picking them to go on the road and win that game, and then end up. I mean, I had them going through the AFC, honestly. So that close game where they had some questionable PI calls, this and that, and I felt like they were going to go on the road, and that was actually the year. Is them going on the road through the wild card was actually how they were going to finally break through. But then postseason once again bites them in the ass, and then it leads to McDermott being fired. So. But Joe Brady has already been there. It's not a rebuild there. So it's sort of they've got a lot of things maintained for a team that's already been a perennial, was division champ. And then this last time it was a wild card, but perennial playoff team that's right there on the doorstep of getting through. So, and then maybe moving OJ Simpson off the Wall of Fame is actually what they needed to finally get the bad mojo out of there.
I love that move because, see, if you did it a few years ago, he was still alive and he might go out there and kill you. So now that he's dead, you take the name off. There's no chance that you're going to get out of your car walking into the stadium and he's going to come out in the darkness out of some bushes and slice your neck. So since he's dead and gone, I love that move. I thought it was smart on their part. Yeah, we'll wait for the new stadium. The guy's dead. We can now take it off. But if you take it off while OJ's still alive, the juice is on the loose.
And it's not even taking it down. It's just, no, this is a new structure, a new building, and we're just not putting his name up there. You would have had to take it down at the old stadium. You would have had to physically. But it always did stand out to me every time I see him. Like, OJ Simpson's name is there. But
they're just cutting some things out. You have to do those things. Just got to cut it out.
When you move into a new stadium.
Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ Catch his work there. Of course, at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Make sure you subscribe. David, enjoy your weekend, my brother. I appreciate you immensely.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
This has been another session of Welton Associates PA, Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones, the law firm that knows your name and your case. Welton Associates PA. Get personal attention from a firm that treats you like a person, not a file. We're proud to serve individual families and businesses with a commitment to treating every client with respect while providing aggressive representation you deserve. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Welton Associates PA.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura RDX, only $399 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, baby? You doing good?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I can't complain. It's a Thursday. USA got it done yesterday. Did you watch our boys?
I did. I watched a lot of the second half. I wasn't able to watch a lot of the first half, but I watched not the penalty kick, but the free kick just outside the box, and I thought it was beautiful. Thought they played great, being shorthanded, right, with one player with the red card, and unfortunate call with affecting them going into this next game because it's not going to
bullshit call because that wasn't. Yeah. You could tell the guy was off balance. He wasn't trying to step on him. It was accidental, dude. Come on, bro. And there were a couple of other calls throughout the game. Not the offsides. The offsides were offsides. Right. So that's fine. But there were a couple of other BS calls too in the game, and I was like, "Yo, man, the refereeing wasn't." They beat Bosnia and the refs yesterday.
They did, and I don't know how this is going to affect them. Balogun's obviously a really good player, but yes. What they do and who they move up into that spot, is it Pepe or do they shift things around a little more to kind of I don't know. We'll see what.
Balungun was dominating, bro. He's been a force for the team.
He's been phenomenal. Just unfortunate they won't have him now against this Belgium team. But I think this Belgium team is very beatable, and U.S. can probably still beat him without Balogun.
Aren't you a soccer coach too?
I am. Rec soccer. My girls play travel soccer, but I coach rec here in Miramar, not too far.
We know the guys in the World Cup have nothing on you. Come on, let's go. No, but since you are a soccer coach, so I can talk to somebody that actually follows soccer. My most impressive thing about this is our best passing team in 30 years.
They do a phenomenal job setting each other up.
We suck at passing. Our midfield play is always garbage. It's funny that a Claudio Reyna kid is now on a team that's the last time we actually had like a really good midfielder. His name was Claudio Reyna. The only knock on Claudio back in the day was that he actually had a lot of injuries. That's right. About the only knock that Claudio had. But Claudio was a really good player and a good midfielder. And those teams, the McBrides and the Kobe Jones and the Winaldas and all those guys that was our best passing team that we had in the U.S. And then we just went into this valley that, that's why our women have been so superior to our men, because they really know how to play with each other. And that's how you become a force in soccer. And that's been, I'm so impressed how they know where everyone else is, and they just move the ball so well, man. That they look like a real soccer club now. They
do. And I think the speed is you talk about how fast they are on the wings and are able to just set each other up and give each other a lot of opportunities. That's something that we didn't see in the U.S. men's team for a while. And now they're potent. Every game, I think they're going to score 2 or 3 goals because of how good they are and how fast they are on the wings.
Yeah, man. It's been really impressive to see overall. All right, let's get to a little Canes news. They flipped a 2027 wide receiver. Talk to us.
Yeah, Ellie Woodward of Temecula, California, 6'1", 190-pound receiver that compares favorably to Malachi Tony. You talk about, Malachi's got 2 years left at Miami. Obviously, you're hoping that he stays healthy the whole way through. But you need a replacement, right, for Malachi. And I think this Woodard kid. A lot of similar comparisons in terms of work ethic and what he does, in terms of wanting to be an elite blocker, which is something he has common with Malachi. So, kind of completing an excellent class for Miami. I think they're ranked 3rd right now, 3rd or 4th in the composite standings. But they have the highest grade average per player of anybody in the country. I mean, these are all elite dudes. Mario's not taking a whole lot of diamonds in the rough. These are all guys that are well established, recruits and prospects, and a lot of good skill position. Got the quarterbacks lined up, got the receivers lined up. Got linemen as always, so I don't really see any holes in this recruiting class, and it's going to be a smaller class because he's recruited well the last couple of years, and those kids, it's going to be their turn soon.
Just out of curiosity, out of those 20, outside of a kid decommitting, does Mario do any kind of we liked you then, but we kind of like somebody else and we got to knock you off, and none of that goes on, right?
Well, I mean, he says that they evaluate through the senior year. So if a guy all of a sudden turns into a meathead his senior year and thinks, I've got the scholarship to Miami, I'm going to stop working, and they start hearing bad things, they'll drop a dude and they'll find somebody else. So to me, this is the character, what Mario does best is the character check. Because if you think about it, how many meatheads has he had on this roster here the last 2 years? None, right? How many guys do we sit there and say, man, that guy's just not a good character player? That really hasn't happened at all. So to me, they've done their homework now 2, 3, and 4 years on a lot of these recruits that are part of this 2027 class, and they know them well. So they don't have to drop them because they know them. But has he done it in the past? Yes, he's dropped guys.
The 2028 class, there's a lot of buzz about that they're working on being the number one class already.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the 2028 class, about what you know about all of
Mm-hmm.
that? Because there is some buzz out there that they're already building some freaking volcano that's about to explode of talent.
Well, they had their underclassmen day recently. I think it was not this past weekend, right before the dead period started, and had a bunch of those 2028 guys in with 2027 commitments, so that those guys all start to get to know each other and build those relationships. And they got 2 guys committed right now. Quelly Fielder, ridiculous offensive tackle from Georgia, and then they got the quarterback from Jacksonville Mandarin High School. That is probably number 1 or number 2 in the state of Florida in terms of quarterback. So I think, they've got a good foundation. They're recruiting their butt off, building these relationships, and you have to do it now, because a lot of these elite junior guys, by the time they get to, the end of their junior season, they're committing. They're getting ready for that big payday, that big bonus, signing bonus, and jumping on board. And so they've laid all the groundwork, and I think it's going to be one of the best classes in the country, just like this one is. I mean, I think the days of Miami being an afterthought in recruiting or treated like a second-rate citizen, that's over with, because they made the national championship game, and he's got proof of concept, and now the proof of concept is really bleeding into the draft, which is what locks it all up.
I think he needs like another one of these, another 2 of these, where or maybe even win the national championship, and then you like really just you have locked the bitch up once you do that, because you've already kicked the door down. Now really let's create the party, and if you could get to the national championship game again or even win it, man, they're just going to be
win the national championship
outside your office. That's it.
I think they can win the national championship with this team. I think they're exactly in the same spot they were a year ago, where the questions are minimal, and it's a matter of, do the guys show up and play their best on that day, or do they, I think they've got the right locker room leaders. Yes, Ruben Bain is gone. Yes, CC Mauino is gone, but they still have a lot of good locker room character guys between the Malachi Tonys and the Mark Fletchers and some of the guys that they've got on defense that are going to become stars this year. I think they have the right ingredients. It's just a matter of, do they show up that day, and do they have a good day or a bad day,
Hey, dude, listen, as I'll say it on the show here, Mario's doing everything right. He personally has one hurdle himself that he has to overcome, and those are the brain farts every year that happen. Every year he's been
losing to the opponent you're not supposed to.
Losing to the opponent you're not supposed to. And by the way, let's just add a little insult to injury. You were more talented than Indiana, but they were more disciplined than you were, and they won.
Listen, the difference in that game was the quarterback.
Discipline was discipline. They made one mistake in the entire game, and that mistake almost cost them, by the way. But they made only one, and Miami made several mistakes in that game. And that's where Mario now has the talent that he has to now run the table. He has to go undefeated. Notre Dame is the only game that's a challenge, and you should win that game. I'm not saying it's easy, but you should win that game, and you should run the table. What cannot happen this year is what happened last year, where you put your team in doubt because they had to make a decision whether you're in or out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of Senegal yesterday. People were like, oh, that was an unfair call at the end. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we could say that, but you had a 2-goal lead, bro, with like 15 minutes left. You lost that, and now you put yourself in the position where a referee could ruin you. So that's your fault. And that happens in sports all the time. When a team has an opportunity and then they screw it up, and then they want to point to some decision that a referee made. No, dude, no. Be disciplined, play the game right. And to me, that's the last hurdle that Mario has, is that now he has the talent. Play a loss-free regular season for once. That's what I would say.
I'm with you, and there's no reason. I mean, you look at the schedule all the way through, they're going to be favored. except the Notre Dame game, because Notre Dame, and that's assuming Notre Dame's undefeated at that point.
Maybe they might be favored in that game too. Who knows?
Right. Correct. But I would suspect that right now on paper that's the only game going into the season that they're not favored.
Fair. Yeah. But bro, those days are done. No more brain farts, no more Georgia Techs, no more Louisvilles. No more of this. No more SMUs. No more of the shit that goes on every year that there's a game or two that you're like, well, bro, Mario, what happened here? And that cannot happen, and that's it. That's his last hurdle this year. Play, win, loss-free football in the regular season. That's what you need to do. All right. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check you out?
Yeah, hopefully they finally run this article I've been working on forever, this long piece analyzing the future for every single Power 4 team, and from financial to leadership to everything else, and doing the football tiers, as we like to call them. So I'm hoping that comes out soon next week. I'll be leaving tomorrow for California and be in Vegas for a few days, meeting with people from the Athletic, and then I'll be flying back home. But should be a productive week for me, and then all those preseason media days where I'm going to the SEC one in Tampa, and the American Athletic Conference. Those are going to be in Tampa.
The SEC media days is in Tampa?
It's in Tampa in a few weeks. Yep.
They moved it to Tampa.
Tampa, I know. Not what you would think, but it's in the state of Florida, which is great. It makes it within driving distance for me, so I can leave.
Oh, no, I mean, it's fantastic. I would go to Burns Steakhouse and everything. That gives me. Anytime I go to Tampa, it gives me an excuse to go to Burns and go get a Chateaubriand, bro. Yeah,
I will be there for sure.
I was just so used to Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just used to
Well, they're taking all the conferences. All the conferences are the Big Ten. I mean, they were in the Midwest for years. Now they're out in the West Coast, Vegas, and that area, and it's a show. It's a show now. It's a production.
All right. Hey, man, Burns Steakhouse is. I'd rather go to Tampa than Hoover, so that's all right.
That's all right with me.
Atlanta's cool. I don't mind going to the SEC media days in Atlanta. That's fun, actually.
Absolutely.
But Tampa, good for you, man. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there, of course, at The Athletic. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you. We appreciate you immensely.
All right, brother. Good talking to you. Talk soon.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura ADX. Only $289 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a donation. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, whatever it is. All right. What do we have here? Big O, don't retire, just semi-retire. Retirement is great, but if you don't have anything planned, it sounds boring if you're not active. No, that is true. I mean, I'll still do this show. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'll be doing this show, but I'll be doing it from somewhere else. It won't be here in South Florida. Eventually, my plan is to be somewhere else. Unfortunately, it's not by choice, but because it's just getting too expensive to live here. So I will probably go somewhere where the money stretches out a little bit more, and kind of looking for a certain lifestyle too, especially for the wife, not for me. It's more for the wife. Brett says, indeed, it seems to happen more and more. Oh, okay. Let's talk about us. Big O, yeah. If Embiid can stay healthy, he doesn't stay healthy. I'm saying if he can play 60 games, that's what I'm saying. You got to talk to the guy and play and stop being an idiot and play smart. That's all. Just be smart about it, man. I just don't understand that part. I don't get it. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, by the way, do want to remind you about Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Our friends there, Larry Schlossberg, does an excellent job, and they've got some great deals going on right now at Acura of Pembroke Pines. The 18th anniversary sale is going on. The 2026 Integra, $239 a month. They will waive your first payment, $450. The ADX 2026 model, $289 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. And the MDX, $499 a month. They will waive your first payment, $1,000, up to $1,000, folks. That's amazing. Get on down there, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Finest Acura dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Oh, look who has popped in. The man, the myth, the legend. That is Steve Calabro. How you doing, baby? You doing good?
Oh, Big O. I'm doing good. I do apologize. I'm more loco, as they say in Hialeah. I think I'm crazy.
That's why you're in
I'm
Hialeah.
crazy.
That's why you get when you go to Hialeah, you get a little loco. I went to Hialeah High. I know. That's how it is. Us T-breads are a little loco.
I gotta tell you.
I got to tell you what I'm loco for is the upcoming University of Miami football season. What I'm loco for is the USA soccer team. Did you watch that last night?
Last night was amazing. I'm glad you mentioned it. I got to tell you, I haven't watched much of FIFA. I do have to talk to you about FIFA, but the World Cup. But I will tell you, last night I turned it on. It's about halfway through the game. It's 1-0, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty exciting. But you know what I noticed? I learned something last night watching that game. Obviously, it's exciting as all hell. I learned a lot. One is a lot of people really like rooting for a sports team that's representing their country.
Oh, yeah.
Because it felt good. It felt really good. And, I understand those Argentines that root for, the Argentine soccer team and the whatever country. There was Scotland. I bumped into some guys from Scotland in the airport. And there was like 50.
Hey, Steve, everybody's got shit going on in every country. Doesn't matter if you're in Argentina or you're in the United States or or in Brazil or whatever. And then this is a moment where we can all get away from all the bullshit and say, hey, let's root for our team because this is who we are. And so we can all just get away from all our problems and everything else and just get behind, our team and get jingoistic, baby. And
I guess
that's the fun part.
It was refreshing. It was refreshing. It was kind of neat, and now what I also learned, I'm not a big soccer fan, right? But yeah, I love sports, and I had friends and played soccer for years. And it seems like good teams, whether it's NFL, whether it's college football, whether it's baseball, whether it's soccer, if you have a good defense, you are in it, man. You are a competitive team that can win big games. And to that point, what I saw as a novice soccer fan, it looks like the U.S. has a beastly defense because the guys from Bosnia are kicking. They had at the end the last 20 minutes and the extra 10 minutes, they were really trying to score, right? And it was in their half. It was in their half. They were desperate. They were in their half, right? We're down a guy, and the shots weren't being saved by the goalie. The shots were being blocked by a defender in front of the goalie.
Yep.
And to me, that's what I saw. I saw 5 or 6 of them getting blocked. And so that's how you win.
What you're watching now, Steve, is the USA used to struggle against this level of competition or lose a lot of times.
Yeah. Yes.
Now they have risen and have actually gone above this level of competition because even the experts in Vegas, they thought that the USA was better than Bosnia, so they were favored going into this game. And now they have lived up to their talent so far. And now I talked about this earlier on the show before you were on. is that this is our chance to say, hey, we're now in the party. If you win against Belgium, you're now getting into the quarters. And all of a sudden now you're in with Spain and Brazil and Argentina and England, Germany. Well, Germany's out, but you know what I mean? Like the normal people.
The elite teams, the elite soccer teams.
We have always been a fringe country in this sport, even though our talent in every sport is elite. But we've never gotten to the point where our elite talent was meshing. And right now, if you watch, it's one of the things that I point out is this is the best passing team we've had in over 30 years. They know how to play with each other. They find each other. They find the open man. They are phenomenal at that. And we have sucked forever at that. Our women have excelled because they know how to do exactly that. Play, pass the ball and use each other.
It's a team sport. It's a team sport.
One guy cannot dribble through 7 guys and get to that. That just doesn't happen, bro. That's not this league. It's not Zonka carrying 4 guys 10 yards into the end zone. That shit doesn't happen in this sport. You have to have people to help you out. And that's one of the things that's happened. Our passing is so elite. And you're right. Our defense was great yesterday. We were heading every damn ball out of the box. And it was
it was wild.
It was good.
Now, Big O, I tell you, there's another thing too I learned. And it's about sports. And I've said it to you on the show a couple times. There's another reason, there's many reasons, but there's another component to why U.S. is doing really well. And that is they went out and they got a proven commodity in a coach. That coach is a monster.
Yeah, he's a
coach.
Yeah, but it sucks because we're going to lose him now right away.
I know.
He's a club coach. He wants to be a club coach. He's an excellent coach. And now the greatest coach in U.S. soccer history is going to walk out the door, bro.
I know. It sucks. I mean, look, the fact, and some people, and I'm fine with how the whole story on how we got him, and some private guys put up some big money, right? They wanted to, that you had to pay, and so I relate that not just to soccer for the U.S. team in this World Cup, but when I talk about it in the NFL. I know I'm dissing on the Dolphins and all, but on this one, but you need proven commodities. No, you don't need them. Proven commodities have a tendency to work better than guys learning on a job. I mean, I know that sounds mean. It sounds, like, oh, you're an ungrateful fan or something like that. But I'm just trying to say there are some components in sports, professional sports, that work better, and a proven winning coach works. I mean, how do you even argue that one? But so that's what I saw last night was, I saw that in a couple earlier games too. I said, and then he was doing an interview, and the guy's like this guy is a leader of men. You know what I mean? And he's he knows what he's talking about. He's played the game. He's coached the game. So that was interesting. It was fun. Very fun to watch.
We look
now. I'm gonna slightly disagree, just slightly, because you got to see the highlight reel of Holland, the guy from Norway.
Mm-hmm.
That guy. So first of all, Norway has an okay team,
right? Yeah,
but he is not a typical World Cup soccer player. Typical World Cup soccer players are very quick. They're short, like they're a little small in structure, and they're fast, and they got all those components, and they can go sideways and twisting and all kinds of things. This guy, I forget his first name. Holland's his last name, Haaland.
I know who you're talking about.
Erlen. I think it's Erlen Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Watch. I encourage you and Sean and all your listeners to watch a highlight reel of this guy. He's a monster. He's like 6'6", 6'5", and he literally runs through people. It's fun to watch. Now he's an anomaly. he's a total anomaly. You know, he's probably not going to last forever. You know, it's a little bit of but he's having a hell of a World Cup, and he's fun to watch. But he's a little bit.
There's some very rare. Yeah, once in a while you'll run into some of those guys that are thick in build and can, use physicality in order to his advantage. I know who you're talking about. I've seen him play, and he's good. He's a hell of a player. But yeah. Not that as a country they're going to go and win anything, but yeah, it's
no. Well,
I mean, it's like watching, Cabo or Cape Verde. Now, it's such a great story to see them still alive in the tournament at this point in time. Those are the kind of really cool things when you can see a smaller country like that, which, by the way, they're going to take on Argentina tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. What it does for a little country like that, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's been good for the country. It's now I will tell you, I'm gonna shift gears a little. I kind of be a little. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a contrarian. So I learned it from Big O.
What's that?
I learned something, and I try to not bring it up too often. I try not even think about it personally. But I remember one time you applied it to. I was applying it to the NFL. You said, "Hey, it even relates to politics too." But like the NFL doesn't give one shit about the fan. All they care about is money and the NFL. They really don't care about the fan.
They don't even care about the players. Look at what they're doing with the grass fields now. FIFA demands grass fields because their players cost a lot of money and they protect their players. And look at the NFL; they still have artificial turf in some fields, and they allow people to do that. And meanwhile, your players cost you millions of dollars, and you're putting them at risk, a bigger risk, by putting them on artificial turf. So yeah, the NFL cares about one thing, dude, is making cash.
Money, money, man. That French word, money. I'm telling you, man. They care about money. Now I've had some interactions with FIFA. We at Hialeah Park, we gave away it was like $50,000 worth of World Cup tickets. We've got some customers going to this July 3rd game. We had customers go to the June 27th game, and the customers are loving it, right? But when you deal with FIFA, they actually directly I bought the tickets months ago from FIFA. It's like very, 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 very expensive. I mean, Big O, I'm talking ridiculous prices directly from FIFA. It's not like I'm paying somebody on StubHub or some kind of the prices are like thousands and thousands.
It's either the Olympic Committee or FIFA. Which corrupt organization do you want to talk about? Which is the most corrupt one? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, the FIFA is the flavor of the month, right? So we're talking about FIFA right now, but really, like parking ranges anywhere from like 300 to 1,000. Parking, like for put your car in a spot. We bought parking for one of our customers, and
you got to
do it yellow line.
You got to do it Allen Iverson style. We're talking about parking. We're talking about parking.
It was nuts. So I'm a little bit down on FIFA for the greediness and all that stuff. But hey, that's the free enterprise system that we live in, and it's better than certainly socialism and communism. So I'll go with the free. I'll deal with it, right? I'll deal with it. But it's been now.
It is a ripoff. It is a ripoff.
It is a big expense. I feel bad for I bumped into a guy. I didn't know him, but I saw him in an area where it was like a public area, and he was with his family, his two kids and his wife. They all had soccer jerseys on, and I said, "Oh wow!" And it was up in New Jersey. I don't know if I told you, but I'm from New Jersey. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm from the Jersey guys from Jersey. But anyhow, I was in New Jersey, and he's a soccer fan like crazy. This kid's a soccer fan. This guy's crazy, and he had literally saved up for like a year so he could fly to New Jersey and take his family to one of the early World Cup games in MetLife in New Jersey. The stadium's in New Jersey, even though the New York Giants and the New York Jets play there, but they should be the Jersey Giants and the Jersey Jets. But anyhow, he said he saved $10,000. He saved up $10,000, and that's what it cost him to take his family. Now they went for like 5 days and stayed in hotels, and they bought tickets. And he said a little more, about half of that was for tickets. Think about that. A family of 4 is going to the game for $5,000 in tickets and $5,000 in travel expense.
Criminal,
it's crazy.
Bro. Criminal.
It's criminal. It's criminal. But now, hey, at Hialeah Park, we were giving away tickets. It was great. That promo.
You've given away gold. You've given away Rolex, Cartier, Bitcoin, cars,
guess what?
boats, SUVs. I mean, give me a break, dude. You guys give away everything.
Wait a second. I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you and your viewers. Maybe you don't know this. We call it, the country's calling it America 250, right? That's the big celebration this weekend, right? We're all having a good time. We're proud of our country. But you know what? So when I graduated high school, it was 1976. That was the bicentennial year.
I know. I was 10 years old. I know.
Do you know what the word for 250 is?
No.
Semi-quincentennial celebration.
I'll stick
That's
with
why
I'll stick with
you and the rest of the country, because when they were planning everything, they said, wow, semi-quincentennial is really a mouthful. And so we just called it America 250, right? So just a little educational thing there. Now, being the semi-quincentennial celebration this month of July, guess what Hialeah Park Casino is giving away? I mean, it's an easy one. It's a no-brainer. We're giving away $250,000. Wow. 250. 10 drawings, $25,000 a drawing. It's every Friday and Saturday in the month of July, and the calendar wasn't perfect. So we had to go to August. We had to include August 1st too. So we had 10. So we had 10 Fridays and Saturdays consecutively, starting with this Friday and Saturday, tonight and tomorrow, and the next 4 Fridays and Saturdays, all the way to the last one being on August 1st. So $250,000 given away down on the slot floor for celebrating the semi-quincentennial.
By the way, I know Mr.
Brunetti
is a huge Canes fan, and I know you guys are huge Canes supporters. So are you guys doing any watch parties or something for the Canes this year? Because we're winning the national championship this year. I'm telling you.
It's so funny. It's funny you asked that. And we had a little bit of a brainstorming meeting planning for September, and we haven't finalized anything yet for September. But the University of Miami is probably going to do something with them in terms of some poker stuff. Maybe some ticket giveaways, maybe obviously some watch parties. We just haven't formalized it because we'd be more likely to do it in September and October. So
to give it away on the show on Tuesdays.
You could be the guy giving them away. You could be the MC of the giveaway. I got to get with the marketing team. There's a million things going on. That's when you give away cars and boats and Chargers and Corvettes and we're giving away in so August and September. I don't know which. We haven't even finalized it, depending on what which one we get first. But we're going to give away a Mercedes and we're going to give away another Corvette. We had a lot of fun with that Corvette. I don't know what it is. I like giving away, Chevy Corvettes. I don't know I don't even know why I like it, but I do like giving away. And customers. So we're going to, one of the months, September, and 1 month, August, is going to be, I just don't know which car is going to be in there. But the customers in Miami-Dade County, Hialeah area, love Mercedes too. They really do love Mercedes. What's your plan? What's your feelings on?
I mean, like a Corvette or a Mercedes, like really, like who shits on those cars? I mean, like you.
It's a hard car to shit on.
I mean, it's like, hey, listen, Craig Zinn is a huge sponsor here, and we love our Acuras and our Toyotas, all right, and our Subarus, and they're fantastic cars. But I'm not going to crap on other cars out, especially a Mercedes or a Corvette. I mean, those, of course, you could give away those kind of cars. That's fantastic. You gave away, by the way, a Lexus, which from Craig Zinn. Yeah. So,
Yes. I got to tell you, one of the best cars I ever. Shout out to Craig Zinn, because one of the best cars I ever owned was the Acura MDX. It was a great. It's a great SUV.
I tell everybody that the MDX is one of the greatest SUVs on the planet all the time, dude. It is. It's a beast of an SUV right now. And right now they're charging $499 a month to lease that.
I heard that intro in the intro there. What a great deal! That's good.
That's a stupid deal. That's ridiculous. And they waived the first payment, $1,000. What? Oh, give me a break. That's a good deal right now. And you drive a massive SUV that is just it feels like a spaceship in that MDX, man. That is awesome. So it's good to know you guys got a bunch of stuff going on and giving away $250,000 on our
and then we're going to be on the air with you in coming NFL season. In August we're coming up there, and I got to figure out what day, because there was a little bit of a question as to they were bitching about Tuesdays. I don't know.
Okay, well, I only picked Tuesdays because that's after Sunday and Mondays games, and that is But we could you're off Mondays, so we could do Wednesday. Yeah. We could do or maybe we go back to our Thursday, so that way we preview Thursday night. Yeah. Yeah,
it's either gonna be Tuesday or Thursday, but we'll figure that out and we'll let the viewers know in the next week, the next week or so. So, but anyhow, it's been it's been a great so far great early start to the summer. I think it's just going good. Things are going well. The World Cup's been a nice thing. It's refreshing for people. I've been hearing a bunch of stories about people from other countries coming to the United States and saying, "Hey, it's really cool here in the United States." Sometimes we take it for granted. Sometimes we take the greatness that we have here in our country.
When you guys got the games going on in the poker room, are people going crazy?
Some games, yes. Some games, yes. It's really, maybe it's half a dozen or a dozen Colombian guys.
It's the obvious ones: Colombia, Brazil, Argentina. Yeah, exactly. When the big boys are playing, and the people that are in our communities, which
they're
Colombians and our Brazilians and Argentines and all that. Yeah. Those people, Uruguay, I mean, they're out now, but we've got a bunch of those people in our community. Exactly. Yeah.
Sure. So they've been going nuts. Some of the, I forget which, there was a couple teams there, but the guys were all from the country, so they were, it was distracting the poker game a little, but in a good way. It was in a good way. It wasn't a bad way.
We got a lot of people from Paraguay here, that could be also, and so, we got a great melting pot down here, man. I mean, even when Haiti was in now, it was just a nice lift for the Haitian community because they're going through hell, obviously, because their country has been in hell forever, So,
it's funny you mentioned Haiti. I'm going to give you a little note of trivia about the Haitian soccer team that is related to Steve Calabro.
Really?
Now it's a stretch. Well, we know that Steve Calabro is from New Jersey.
Okay,
we know that, right?
We know
the Haitian team has rented Stockton University, which is located in New Jersey, a half hour from where my house is in New Jersey, to be their training center for the World Cup. And they take a bus up to the Met, when they had a game, an early game in North Jersey. So the Haitian team was training for the last 2 months, and I guess as long as they're going to be here in the country for another couple of weeks in Stockton University in good old Steve Calabro's New Jersey. Okay. I'll bet you a lot of viewers didn't know that.
I had no idea. But it was good before they got eliminated. It was good that they even scored a goal, and it was like a great accomplishment for them. So that was cool because obviously that's a place that's gone through so much turmoil. To even be able to pull the team to get to the World Cup is absolutely amazing. So yeah, good stuff.
It's
All right,
all good.
Steve. Good stuff, brother.
Alrighty.
We will keep up and we'll be live over there in a few weeks next month. So
Have a great 4th of July and celebrate the semi-quincentennial in high fashion. America 250.
You be good out there.
Take care, boss. Take care, boss.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Pat goes, I had no idea Steve was from New Jersey. Don't forget to reach out to our friends at Sloman's. The Sloman's Shield, baby. It is in 49 of 50 states. And it is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026, day number 19,163 since our beloved Miami Dolphins were world champions, day number 8,946 since the Canes were national champions, and day number 4,759 since the Miami Heat were world champions. Bitcoin right now is sitting at 61,629. The Dow is up 403 points. The S&P is down 11 points. The NASDAQ is up almost 2 points. There we go. That's what we got going on. And don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. All right. Brett says the stock market has been growing impressively over the last year. Dow Jones is up over 18%, and Toronto Stock Exchange up here is 30%. Both have been great investments. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Just keep wondering about when are the wheels going to fall off. That's the only thing that I would worry about, overall. 44-year-old Serena Williams yesterday in Wimbledon lost to 20-year-old Maya Joint. And she tweaked her left knee, left in crutches. Now, she has a doubles match today with Venus. I have not seen anything here while I've been on if there's any new news on Serena if she's playing. But this is something that I kind of cringed when she said she was coming back. And I get it. You take that Ozempic stuff and you lose a bunch of weight and all of a sudden, it's not Ozempic. She takes something else. I forgot what she advertises. And it's great for her. She lost all the weight. Doesn't mean that at 44 you can bounce back just like that, even if you're Serena Williams. And she's got so much wear and tear on that body. She lost to a 20-year-old and got injured. It's sad because I hate seeing great athletes, whether it's Muhammad Ali, whether it's Sugar Ray Leonard, whatever it is, Joe Namath. You could just go on and on and on and talk about all the athletes that just hang on too long. Paul Pierce, whatever, Shaq, you name it. People that just hang around and keep playing a game that they are no longer really suited for anymore, and things change. She lost to a 20-year-old, somebody less than half her age, and got injured in all of it. I just, it's uncomfortable. And I don't go with this shit about, it takes away. Nobody says anything about Willie Mays except he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. Nobody talks about his Met years. And everybody admires the hell out of Joe Namath and what he did with the Jets. Nobody gives a shit about what he did with the Rams. Emmitt Smith actually played half decent for the Cardinals, but nobody looks at Emmitt Smith less because he played for the Cardinals or Jordan because he played for the Wizards or whatever. That's such a bullshit line that people use. Oh, it's going to take away from their legacy. No, it's not. Because I just gave you examples, and we don't even care about the latter part of their careers because all we talk about is what they really accomplished and what they really were. We don't care about Willie Mays in a Mets uniform. That doesn't matter to us. Not at all. It's like it never happened. Everything about Emmitt Smith will always be in a cowboy uniform. End of story. It's not going to ruin Serena's legacy. That's just, anybody uses that line, you're allowed to slap them if you want. It's just ridiculous. But it is sad. That's what I'm going to say. Doesn't take away from your legacy. It's just sad because you're Rod Stewart or you're Barry Manilow or you're an artist that is still hanging on to something that you don't need anymore, and you're not the same anymore. Whether you're Lionel Richie or whoever, there's got to be a time when you know when to say when, as the old beer commercial was. And Serena Williams just needs to know when to say when. Do what other people have done. You want to be a part of the game? Well, if you don't have kids that are in the game that you can bring up, okay, then be an announcer. Be a sponsor, be whatever. Do something that's a little different but part of the game in your own way. Unfortunately, doesn't matter if you're a carpenter, doesn't matter if you're a teacher, doesn't matter if you're an athlete, doesn't matter. Eventually, you're going to have to turn it off. Unless you're a politician, you're allowed to die in office. That's about the only one that we're all right with that. We're good. Mitch McConnell will continue to make all decisions from his nursing home. You know what I'm saying? What was it? Feinstein, right? The other lady that she was like 90. Feinstein was the best. She had someone managing her money, but she was, in government managing ours. You got to know when to say when. Serena, when? All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate them either way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Taylor Swift is causing quite a stir. It's kind of weird, right? Because she's getting married to her man, Travis Kelce. And it's all going down at Madison Square Garden. And for those of you that, if you don't know about the insights of it, well, the law enforcement has confirmed Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will have their wedding at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. Law enforcement officials are briefed on the security plans. The festivities will kick off with a smaller rehearsal dinner planned for Thursday night, the officials said. The person spoke to the AP on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the matter. So New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani said Wednesday that a permit has been filed for a large event at Madison Square Garden. We are fully prepared. There isn't anything to share beyond that. New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said, we will, of course, have a detail in place, but also declined to go into further details. This week, crews have been unloading equipment from trucks outside the Manhattan Arena A large carpet was briefly unveiled outside one entrance and then promptly removed. So we've got that going on. And Taylor Swift is getting blasted, apparently. Why? Because of her elaborate wedding plans, which I don't get this stuff. You have your wedding, right? Many women have their weddings and they design it however they want and whatever they want to do. She's got the power, dude. She wants to use MSG. Go for it. She can create a private place because you can block everybody off. Social media users quickly criticize the plans as tacky and over the top. Okay? The upcoming marriage of the global pop superstar and prominent football player is generating widespread public discussion. These are people that have no lives whatsoever. You're worried about somebody else's wedding. You're complaining about somebody else's wedding. Think about that. You got to have no life whatsoever, right? So a massive controversy erupted following the media leaks that elaborated a stage being built inside the iconic sports venue. And according to media reports, construction crews are actively building a massive fairy tale castle inside the crowded indoor basketball arena. Sources close to TMZ says a massive castle is being built inside a garden at MSG, with the legendary venue being transformed into a full-blown fairy tale for the big July 3rd wedding event. What's more, crews were spotted unloading giant and covered scenic pieces labeled Garden Party Scenic, Party 1, that is, and spray-painted GP outside the venue, all arriving fittingly at Madison Square Garden. And then one fan goes, all of this just to get divorced in 2 years. I just wonder why people would get so hot and bothered about them getting married or wanting them to get a divorce. They actually look like they're happy. I hope everything goes smooth. I hope they have a great marriage, man. I don't know. I really don't understand why there would be so much hate for their situation. Just kind of, I don't know. Doesn't make sense, By the way, Taylor also added a certain group of people to the list. And I'm wondering how Monica McNutt is feeling right now. Because Monica McNutt got her nut busted when she picked on Taylor Swift for not being a Knicks fan. Oh, she's not a Knicks fan. She had been going there for years. She was some kind of Knicks girl or something when she was a kid or something like that. So Taylor Swift invited the starting five for the New York Knicks to the wedding. So it looks like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns all made the list. There's 1,000 strong on that list, and the Knicks starting five. Now, the bench players did not make it. No word yet if they gave the head coach. I would imagine that the head coach I'm going to take a chance and say that Mike Brown got an invite for him and his wife. If he's married, I'm not sure. So Taylor also invited the Knicks players to her wedding. How about that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So now you got all your information on Swift and Kelsey's wedding on Friday night. And you can figure out the rest on your own. Okay. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. All right. Let's do this, folks. Why don't we start off with a little birthdays today? Let's see who was born on July 2nd. And, we like to do musicians, entertainers, actors, politicians, famous people born on July 2nd. We start off with Zach Downs, bassist for the Mini Mansions. I have all their music. Born in 1985. Ashley Michael Tisdale, actress, singer from The High School Musical, born in 1985. Dave Parsons, bassist with Transvision Vamp, born in 1966. Roy Bolter from the Liverpool bass band The Farm, all together, born in 64. Mike Anger from the British new wave group The Blow Monkeys, born in 57. Jeffrey Cooper, singer with Midnight Star, born in 56. Is Midnight Star Secret Lovers? Is that one of their tunes? Anyway. Jerry Hall, U.S. model, actress, and of course, she married Mick Jagger back in the day, born in 55. Pete Brischetti, bassist and vocalist for the Boomtown Rats, Up All Night, born in 54. Johnny Cola, guitarist, sax with Huey Lewis and the News, born in 52. Gene Taylor, American pianist, best known for his boogie-woogie style and worked with Big Joe Turner, T-Bone Walker, and for a brief time was with Canned Heat, born in 52. Roy Bittan, keyboardist. Roy Bittan, the professor with the E Street Band, born in 49. Paul Williams, actor, singer, born in 1939. All right. Let me see who else here on this list. David Palmer, keyboardist with Jethro Tull, born in 1937. And Lee Allen, saxophonist with Fats Domino and Little Richard, born in 1926. Now we move over to other famous people born on July 2nd. Remember, if I don't give you an age, unfortunately, that means they have passed away. Speaking of Norway, since Steve was talking about that, King Olav V of Norway, born in 1903. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, born in 1908. Fashion designer Pierre Cardin, born in 1922. Imelda Marcos, that shoe-wearing bitch, wife of the former Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos, born in 1929. She's 97. How many shoes does she have now? Entrepreneur Dave Thomas, born in 1932. Wendy's, by the way, for those of you that don't know. International Motorsports Hall of Fame member Richard Petty, born in 37, still with us. He's 89 today. Great actor, filmmaker Ron Silver, rest in peace, born in 46. Writer, actor Larry David, born in 47. He's 79 today. Actor Jimmy McNichol, born in 61. He's 65. Former MLB player and juicer Jose Canseco, born in 64. He's 62. Musician Dave Parsons of Bush, born in 66. He's 60. Musician Jenny Rivera, born in 69. Musician Michelle Branch, born in 83. She's 43. TV personality, U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame member Johnny Weir, born in 84. He's 42. Actor Ashley Tisdale, born in 85, 41. Actor Nelson Franklin, born in 85. He's 41. Actress Lindsay Lohan, born in 86. She's 40. Former soccer player and all-around hottie, Alex Morgan, born in 89. She's 37. Speaking of hotties, actress Margot Robbie, born in 90. She's 36. Musician Saweetie, born in 93, 33. Have no idea what musician Saweetie is, but anybody named Saweetie, I'm going to give him a birthday shout-out. Musician and actor Vince Staples, born in 93, he's 33. Actress Caitlin Carmichael, born in 2004, she is 22. Those are famous folks born on July 2nd. Now we move over to what happened today in music history, because I know you're all dying to find out what happened today in music history. Well, we start off in 1962, where Jimi Hendrix was honorably discharged from the 101st Airborne Paratroopers after breaking his ankle during his 26th and final parachute jump. See, and you guys want me jumping out of parachutes and doing all that kind of stuff at 60. Here's Jimi Hendrix, a young buck, and he's breaking an ankle. No thanks. In 1966, Frank Sinatra went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Strangers in the Night, Exchanging Rubbers, This One Is Too Tight, Please Give Me Another, This One Is Too Loose. I'm sorry. In 1975, David Bowie received his 4th gold record for Young Americans, which contained 2 of his biggest hits. The number 1, Fame, was the title song. That Frank Sinatra song didn't go like that? I didn't know. In 1979, Sony introduced a Walkman for the first portable audio cassette player. Over the next 30 years, Sony sold more than 385 million Walkmen in cassette, CD, mini disc, and digital file versions. Sony led the market until the arrival of Apple's iPod and other new digital devices. And yes, I bought a few different kinds of Walkmans over the years. Who didn't? In 1982, Fleetwood Mac released their 13th studio album, Mirage, and it features Hold Me and Gypsy. That video of Gypsy, Stevie Nicks, red dress on that couch. Woo! Damn! In 1985, Prince's album Around the World in a Day, released just a little more than 2 months earlier on April 22nd, earned double platinum certification by the Recording Industry Association of America, signifying more than 2 million units sold. In 1988, Michael Jackson became the first artist to have 5 number 1 singles on one album when Dirty Diana went to the top of the U.S. charts. The other 4 chart toppers from the LP, Bad, were the title tracks, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, The Way You Make Me Feel, and Man in the Mirror. In 1991, Heavy D and the Boys released their 3rd album, Peaceful Journey. It features Now That We Found Love, What Are We Gonna Do With It? In 1991, Slick Rick released his 2nd studio album, The Ruler's Back, and it features I Shouldn't Have Done It. In 1991, Axl Rose caused a riot. Really? He would never do that. To break out during a Guns N' Roses gig after leaping into the crowd to remove a camera from a fan at the Riverport Amphitheater, now the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater in Maryland Heights, Missouri. More than 50 people were injured and 15 fans were arrested. In 2007, the Chemical Brothers released their 6th studio album, We Are the Night, and it features Do It Again and The Salmon Dance. In 2011, Kendrick Lamar released his debut studio album, Section 80. And in 2018, Alan Logmuir from Scottish pop band Bay City Rollers died at the age of 70 after contracting an illness while on holiday in Mexico. Did he get it on a Saturday night? Saturday night. Let's see if there's any. William Guest, member of Gladys Knight and the Pips, was born in 1941. Ashley Tisdale is 41. And that's it. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. I hope he and Swift take a 2-year honeymoon on some private island. Go away and congrats. Let's see. Agree. I hope they have 10 babies. They look like they're happy together, bro. Big O, all of these games in the round of 16 are weeding out the last bad teams of the World Cup. Bosnia did not belong on that field, just like Ecuador with Mexico. And hey, listen, I'm just glad that the USA did what they were supposed to do. That's not what they normally do. And they have looked good all the way through. Belgium will be a great test for them. Looking forward to it. Jessica Cashier says, I was not invited to the wedding, and I'm very upset. You should be, Jessica. Come on. They've got to invite you, Jessica. That's just wrong on every level. I'm with you. I'm fighting it with you, Jessica. Let's see. Big O, did you and Sean get invited to Swift's wedding? No, Sean didn't. I didn't. Sean gets invited to everything. He's cool. But no, not me. Yeah, I think Sean's leaving now. We're doing Acura next week instead. We're not doing it this week, just so he can go to the wedding. Big shot. Big O, I'm not a fan of the 48-team format. I mean, dude, they water down everything for money. What do you want to do? A lot of bad teams that don't belong and just play to defend and counter boring games. Yeah, I know. I'm totally with you, bro. But what are you going to do? Do you think I want to see the NCAA tournament expanded, or the NFL playoffs expanded, or 16 teams in the NHL or the NBA? No, of course not. What do I tell you in the NFL? The NFL. I always tell you that the teams are like 5, 6, and 7 in the seeding. Those teams usually don't belong in the playoffs, especially the 6 and 7 seeds. Maybe the 5th seed might be able to, but usually the bottom tier teams that make it into the playoffs in the NFL, they don't, those wild card teams, they don't belong there, dude, at all. Rarely is there a team that, they had a bunch of injuries and it hurt them during the season and they ended up a wild card, but they're healthier now towards the end of the year. That could happen. But more often than not, the wild card teams are teams that really don't belong in the playoffs. But it's all about money. They're all whores. Doesn't matter what it is. Look, they're going to expand the college football one. Do we really have to? No, we don't. Because there's only a few teams that really can win the championship. It's all about money. That's all they care about, dude. They don't care about anything else. More games, more airtime, more tickets, more TV, more commercials. That's all they give a shit about. Oh, no, let's sneak in a break too in each half so we can make hundreds of millions of dollars extra. It's all about being whores, dude. Yeah. Hello, Aquavision. Big O, would you welcome one of those mini AI data centers in your home? Yeah. No, they can do in my home. Yeah, as long as they pay for the electricity and all that, for sure. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. As long as they pay everything, sure. As long as I don't have to pay anything. Isn't that the case? Anyway, playoffs. You talking playoffs? You guys see Johnny Manziel? He went off on a radio host yesterday on Twitter, and I gotta say, it was pretty legendary. His rant on the guy. Apparently, things are slow in the off season, so you've got to start talking about things. It's like I tell you, right? Like when you are maybe a site that you only talk about one team in one sport and you're doing that all year, boy, you're going to be reaching for a lot of bullshit all the time because there's just not going to be relevant stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? If you're a writer that only follows one beat, there's going to be stretches where there's just stuff that's just not, you're going to have to come up with BS talking points. Well, apparently that's what happened with a gentleman by the name of Tony Rizzo. Manziel didn't hold back after Cleveland radio personality Tony Rizzo criticized remarks the former Browns quarterback made about his time with the franchise. The latest controversy stemmed from comments Manziel originally made in October of 2025. You're talking about this now, when he admitted he never truly felt connected to Cleveland during his brief NFL career. Those remarks resurfaced this week, prompting Rizzo to question why Manziel continued speaking negatively about the city years after his departure, which he didn't. So Manziel responded Tuesday with an explosive post on X that quickly grabbed the attention of the NFL world. And this reminded me of Saturday Night Live and Dan Aykroyd in Point Counterpoint when he'd turn to Jane Curtin and say, "Jane, you ignorant slut." And that's how he would open up the counterpoint. And he says, "Rizzo, you stupid cunt." These comments were made in October of last year, but of course, you bored homos in Cleveland media have nothing to speak about because your quarterback stopped banging massage therapists and can only speak about losing so much to all the people that listen to this trash-ass show, Manziel said. I am 100% with Johnny Manziel on this. Listen, the whole thing, they go on to talk a little bit more about how Manziel talks about how he took responsibility, which he has, for all his shortcomings and every screw up and all that. But he also was mentioning that the environment with the Browns and the head coach and all that was also shitty. And he said, "Why don't you ask our 6th overall pick," and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, I will agree with him because I see it here with the Dolphins. The Dolphins are an organization for decades. Nobody is set up to succeed because you haven't created the environment from top to bottom, whether it's culture, talent, experience, and success. You've done none of that. If you can't do any of that, you can't set the foundation for a young guy to come in and follow through. Now you're expecting people to come in and turn your entire franchise around because you can't. The owner can't, the front office can't, the head coach can't. You can't do that. So Manziel was 1,000% right, and Tony Rizzo is an idiot. But again, it's the offseason. You're bored. You got to come up with something. So you come up with something controversial. But it's all fake controversy. So it's bullshit. Makes you a bullshit host. I am 2 hours and 43 minutes into this show. I don't do commercial breaks. I'm not doing any kind of shock jock shit because I don't do any of that. I think I've talked about every kind of thing that's gone on in sports and or Bitcoin or whatever, but it's all real legit topics. Nothing that I'm making up, and I'm pushing almost 3 hours. Things that you can't see on QAM or anywhere else because they've got to take 8-9 minute breaks every 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't do that here. We talk straight when we want to talk. And today we've had a lot of material. We've had interviews, so we've been able to go a little longer than normal, but we're not sitting here creating bullshit. No, we're actually talking about real stuff that's going on. And that's what that guy could not do. He had to come up with some bullshit stuff that was said a year ago, right? And now you look like a horse's ass for doing that. Anyway, Warren Sapp has got some problems. You guys remember recently, what's it called? He was on Channel 7, and he was exploding on the Hollywood Police Department and all that kind of stuff. And something's wrong with Warren Sapp. Something is really, really wrong with him, whether it's CT. Listen, Warren Sapp was always an asshole. So I'm not going to give Warren Sapp any kind of breaks on whatever he's going through right now, because it's disturbing what's going on. But I originally want to say that Warren Sapp has always been an asshole. always been an asshole. And that's why I would imagine that Deion Sanders could only tolerate him for a year, and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? So now the former NFL star is facing another investigation. Off the field legal developments involving a retired professional athlete frequently generate massive headlines across the sports media landscape. This one is like, you just don't get it. Sapp now faces charges after an incident at City Hall, which now he could be in trouble again. Law enforcement personnel launched an official probe after an employee claimed that the prominent sports figure got physical. The complex situation began developing in Florida when a female healthcare employee filed a formal complaint with local police. The worker alleged that Sapp became increasingly hostile during a verbal dispute over family insurance claims. This guy is out of control. This is going to end badly. According to the official police documents, the worker claimed that Warren Sapp reached out to grab her phone. The incident occurred at the Solaris Healthcare Senior Living Complex in Apopka. This guy is forming ruckuses in police departments and in senior living establishments. Responding officers initially believed that sufficient probable cause existed to pursue a misdemeanor battery charge against him. The legal matter reached a final resolution after state prosecutors carefully reviewed the available physical evidence. Legal teams determined that the available security camera footage failed to capture a clear angle of the interaction. So he gets away on a technicality. He gets lucky, basically, because there's no doubt in my mind that he's guilty, because he's been guilty of a lot of shit lately, and he's out of control. Sad. This is going to end badly for Warren Sapp. Something's going on with that dude. I don't know what it is, but something's going on with that dude. All right. Oh, man. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Big O, do you accept the band? You mean the band, the band? It's a good band, the band. Back in the day. Oh, did you miss any Marlins news? Warren Sapp came to eat at a steakhouse here in town. He was with his mom, and when the waitress said, "Oh, that's sweet," he allegedly said something like, "Don't effing talk about my mama." That's Warren Sapp. Yeah. Warren Sapp is just, he's not a guy that I will ever have any sympathy for. That's how bad it is with Warren Sapp, for me at least personally, because I've seen it in person. I've dealt with it myself, but I've watched even worse how he used to treat the Tampa Bay writers. And I've had shows years ago in the past where we used to talk about that, and I'm not gonna go find some of the guys and, hey, bring up the old stories about this, but just kind of weird, man. Yeah. It's an asshole that now has suffered from CTE. That's a dangerous combination. You were already a bad person, and now you could be suffering from CTE. That's scary, dude. It's dangerous because somebody could get hurt when it's all said and done. All right. The Matt Miller situation. For those of you that don't know, the ESPN NFL draft expert, he's basically the guy that replaced Todd McShay on the network. He had a tragic accident, where not tragic in the sense of death, but he lost an arm. He had to have his arm amputated in order for him to save his life. Now there's been a GoFundMe page, and all kinds of people from ESPN have donated, but there's a controversy going on with Matt Miller. And this is a crazy controversy. It gets tangled up here. So Matt Miller is fighting for recovery from a near-fatal car accident in Missouri last week. Now there's been an outpouring of support after he collided with a truck, and Miller's Ford Bronco crossed the center line of Missouri State Highway 96 and struck an oncoming semi-truck. He was ejected from the vehicle, airlifted to Mercy Hospital in Joplin, underwent life-saving amputation of his left arm. He also sustained multiple fractures, broken ribs, and required additional surgeries, including one to reconstruct his shoulder to evaluate prosthetic options. Okay? So ESPN responded with a statement expressing support and wishing him a full recovery. Pat McAfee, Mina Kimes, Adam Schefter all promoted the GoFundMe page posted by his sister-in-law, which now has raised around $51,000. It's probably more by now with all of this. But all of a sudden, the goodwill didn't last very long. A Reddit post titled Matt Miller's Leagues and Scams were published on May 21, and it went viral in the days following the accident of the GoFundMe creation. Says anyone in a league run by ESPN's Matt Miller and not get paid as a winner? He has ghosted ours since the championship and provided zero communication on what funds went to charity, providing payouts to the winners. I've seen a few others in the same boat and wanted to see if there's a wider spread problem than a couple of leagues. It drew over 150 comments with many screenshots detailing a consistent pattern. Miller would advertise a charity fantasy league on social media, serve as commissioner, collect entry fees via personal Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal accounts, then become unreachable when it came time to pay out the winners. Multiple people reported paying their entry fees and never receiving league or draft information. Others say they won their league but never collected their winnings, eventually giving up after months of chasing Miller down. Several said Miller only became responsive after they threatened to contact ESPN directly, and in some cases, only after ESPN employees were CC'd in the emails about the situation. Some received their original buy-in back rather than their full winnings. Promised Yeti merchandise never arrived for multiple league participants. Miller claimed to have been hacked across multiple platforms and said he lost access to Sleeper and various accounts, which is why messages about payments went unanswered. Sleeper ultimately banned him from the platform entirely. The GoFundMe complaints quickly piled up, and more came forward the days following the crash. The deeper concern for many involved the charitable components of these leagues. Miller tied the entry fee to his 417 Foundation, a nonprofit he described as being founded in 2013 to help provide coats, clothes, and school supplies for low-income families in Joplin, Missouri. Police records show that the foundation was incorporated in Missouri only in December of 2018 and received a cease and desist notice just a year later in 2019. No Form 990s have been filed with the IRS, and the foundation's website is no longer active. Its Twitter account stopped posting in 2021, yet Miller was still posting 417 Foundation fantasy leagues as of late May 22, with buy-ins as high as $500. So in 2020, the following cease and desist, Miller announced the foundation had raised money to give out 26 scholarships, 1,000 each student of color pursuing degrees in journalism, business, engineering, and information technology, with Miller saying he made the initial $5,000 donation himself. No public documentation has emerged confirming the scholarship recipients. The crash details and broader reaction paint a picture of a man whose public persona and private conduct have landed in sharp conflict at the worst possible moment. And according to Awful Announcing's full investigation, ESPN declined to comment on the GoFundMe and the growing social media accusations of Miller's future at the network. Miller was contacted directly and invited to respond before publication, but had not done so by the time this story ran. Like, you feel horrible for the guy because he lost his freaking arm, he lost his life, and he's really in a bad place right now. And then if this is all true, that he's been screwing people over, man, you talk about a story that takes all kinds of twists and turns. Man. Whew. Matt Miller. Hope you get better, my brother. But wow, that is a crazy story, man. Insane. All right, folks. I think we did enough today. 3 hours is a lot. And I appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to reach out to our amazing sponsors here on the show. We got lots and lots of sponsors, so please reach out and support all our great sponsors on the program that make it happen. And those of you that made a donation, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you that hit the like button, thank you. Those of you that tuned in, thank you. Appreciate it. Visit our amazing sponsors. We shall see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.